Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's time for the big topic of the day. The stock market collapsing. What was it like the first time when the tariffs first got announced? How many trillions of dollars of wealth got wiped out like that within like the span of like 20 minutes? Wasn't it like $3 trillion of wealth got like wiped out instantly? And I guarantee you, I haven't checked it in a while. It's definitely gone up. But so, have you said thank you? Did you say thank you? All the biggest American like tech companies and companies in general all are fucking plunging into the fucking dirt. It's objectively hilarious. Very, very funny. Hilarious. Oh yeah, keep in mind, remember at the start of like all of these shenanigans, this is like right at the start of the presidency. Musk literally talks about necessary economic collapse if Trump is elected. Like, quite literally, I talked about this before in my sort of like when the tariffs were dropping. What do the oligarchs want? They are trying to make a recession on purpose so then everything gets put on a fire sale so they can strip it for parts and sell off the rest. They're going to do this for a profit. They're doing this because they want to have their own fucking tax cuts. They want to have Wall Street get bailed out yet again instead of Main Street. Just like you said, Boy Meets Mini. It's going to be 2008 all over again. I wouldn't call this Great Depression 2 or the Greater Depression burnt out alien. I don't think so. It's definitely a recession. Like, obviously. Um, there would have to be some other crazy circumstances for it to be called a depression. Like everything else would have to completely tank. And like, which act was it in the 1930s that was like put in place that made the depression worse? Because there was one that was put in and it just made everything worse. It was really funny. It had the exact opposite intended effect. Hilarious. But yeah, we know why the oligarchs, broadly speaking, are doing this. We know why the billionaires are doing this. They want to have a fire sale on everything, strip it for parts, further monopolize shit like that, and make you specifically viewer suffer. They want to make you suffer. That's the point of all of this. And guess who's gonna pick up the pieces from this? China President Xi will meet with European leaders, including the president of France, Smoot Hawley, 1930. Thank you, Boy Meets Mini. The Spanish PM and the president of the EU and Vietnam in the coming weeks amid rising global trade tensions over U.S. tariffs, Europe seeking greater intimacy with China, and Southeast Asia to offset U.S. reliance. I mean, I've been saying this. Canada should also just do the same thing. Fuck it. Why trust in or believe in anything the U.S. has to say? Let the reign of the Chinese century begin. Top G, top G. Everyone post top G. Uh, Death to America. I am now a Maoist. I'm a Juchist Maoist third worldist. Let the reign of President Xi Jinping last for 1,000 years because of the sheer idiocy of one fucking Oompa Loompa in office. Nice fucking meme. And let's see what else. Because Mexico is also getting in on it. We will sign a new trade agreement with the European Union and work to further diversify our trade to other ex-US partners. Because if I recall correctly, I think like the Mexicans and us, the Canadians, were exempt from this like stupid dumb fuck tariff wave, and we're gonna eventually get to the sort of origins of the numbers because, oh boy, if you thought like it was like complete cacotocracy shit before, just you fucking wait. It gets fucking worse. Like, if you thought it was complete idiots at the beginning, oh man. Just you wait till we get to this. We'll get to it. Like, It's bad. I think the 25% other sort of general tariffs on other exports, like to steel, aluminum, cars, and stuff like that, that applies to us and to the Mexicans. And I do believe, keeping up with our tariff news, obviously, we got Mark Carney here. The system of global trade anchored on the U.S. states is over. Our old relationship of steadily deepening integration with the United States is over. The 80-year period when the United States embraced the mantle of economic leadership is over. Dude, this is us saying this. I don't think people understand how fucking insane that is. Canada is saying this shit. And we've been one of the best of the best of the best neighbors for the fucking US. But, stupid, dumb fuck fascist Oompa Loompas in charge. So, time for idiotic bullshit to fucking happen. Let's see, what is Carney? What do we got here, Carney?
The global economy is fundamentally different today than it was yesterday. The system of global trade anchored on the United States that Canada has relied on.
Oh yeah, for sure, Boy Meets Mini. The only reason why the U.S. thinks that they can get away with this is because currently the U.S. dollar is the global reserve currency. And the reason why it was good and why it was really easy for, why people really wanted to get into the U.S. markets is because of the U.S. dollar being as powerful as it is. Doing stupid shit like this is going to make it such that the euro or the yuan is eventually going to become the next world reserve currency. Because guess what? What currency is always useful everywhere? The US dollar. It is always highly fucking valuable. And because of these stupid, dumb, idiot tariffs, all that is fucking taking a nosedive. And again, the only reason why he's doing this, again, is to try to fund, like, I think there was a bill that recently is trying to pass through the House and the Senate for like $6 trillion in tax cuts. That's what it's for. So that's not only, so with the additional tax cuts on top, that's also going to be the initial Trump tax cuts of $2.7 trillion from his first term, because they want to, put that on with the cement stamp, mail stamp, whatever. They want to put a stamp on that shit. They want to transfer more wealth from the poor to the wealthy, as always, with the Republican Party. So yeah, I mean, like, this is literally shit that's going to cause, like, the U.S. currency as the global reserve currency to start to collapse. Honestly, maybe it's actually good for Canada, because maybe it'll be like because this guy was at the head. You want to know why? Like, it was 1-to-1 for the U.S. dollar with the Canadian dollar, because when the recession happened with us, Mark Carney was the one who did a pretty good job at handling it, and the fucking U.S. dollar went into complete fucking free fall. Oh yeah, Canadian dollar is going to strengthen, which is going to make things less expensive. Let's go. Time to go to the U.S. We're going to go to the U.S. I'm going to get some fire sale stuff. Let's fucking go. Pay less taxes on that shit. Let's fucking go.
Since the end of the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for our country for decades, is over. Our old relationship of steadily deepening integration with the United States is over. The 80-year period when the United States embraced the mantle of global economic leadership, when it forged alliances rooted in trust and mutual respect, and championed the free and open exchange of goods and services, is over.
Well, let's not really get into the history of how they did that exactly, but tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Mostly at the end of a barrel of a gun. Thanks, Monroe Doctrine. Very cool.
Well, this is a tragedy. It is also the new reality.
Real?
We must respond with both purpose and force.
Real?
We are a free, sovereign, and ambitious country.
Real?
We are masters in our own home.
So I believe not too long ago, there was an announcement by Carney saying that there are going to be tariffs going into place. The whole tariff plan that we have already prepared is going to be put in place with additional reciprocal tariffs because, again, the United States did not have to do this. They're just doing this because, again, Trump, for whatever fucking reason, thinks that these tariffs are going to be the thing that can fund his tax cuts for the rich. That is the point. He wants to cut his own fucking taxes because he's a stupid, dumb fuck, greedy billionaire. That's all of the origin point of this. But how about we get into the sort of origin for these like percentages of the tariffs? Because in the initial video that I myself also had, I was just like, why the fuck is there just a random global 10% tariff? Right? It's gone into here. So, James Wesky, whatever. He got into it. So you see how there's a bunch of... So this is the sort of quote-unquote bad number in the blue and the white, and in the yellow is the reciprocal tariff. You want to know what these actually are? These were 0%. Donald Trump just basically pulled it out of his ass. Most of this shit has been completely pulled out of his ass. So just brilliant. Because Indonesia has a high tax on coffee imports, Trump's going to put a 32% tax on coffee imports from Indonesia, even though the U.S. exports no coffee to Indonesia or most anywhere else. He literally does not understand the concept of comparative advantage. Yup. He's putting random tariffs on people even though they don't fucking export anything. And since he also doesn't understand what a trade deficit is, that's also another reason why he's putting, tariffs on people. Because he doesn't understand how trade works. He doesn't understand how economics work. Because he's a fucking idiot. It's incredible. But yeah, I mean, that Hawaiian coffee industry is doing a really, really big, great job in terms of exporting to the rest of the world. But yeah, man. It's also important to understand that tariff rates that foreign countries are supposedly charging us are just made-up numbers. South Korea, which we have a trade agreement, is not charging a 50% tariff on U.S. exports, nor is the EU charging a 39% tariff, which is also true. With all the countries, the allied countries that Trump is tariffing, you already have free trade agreements with. They have them. It's complete just nonsense. He pulled these numbers out of his ass, right? And James here gets into the origin of where this comes from. Just figured out where these fake tariff rates come from. They didn't actually calculate tariff rates plus non-tariff barriers as they say they did. Instead, for every country, they just took our trade deficit with what country and divided it by the country's exports to us. Do I need to get into how fucking stupid that is? That is he literally took the tariff rate and the non-tariff barriers, okay? He made up some number out of it by taking the trade deficit and dividing it by a country's exports. That is not how a tariff rate is calculated. He unironically believes, because for whatever fucking reason, he thinks that, a country's exporting this much money in billions of dollars to everybody, because this is the general export rate of a country, right? That's their sort of export market in general, and thinks that it's all being exported to the U.S. because, again, he's a stupid, dumb fuck nationalist and thinks that the U.S. fucking revolves around everything. No, Donald Trump, the U.S. is not the center of the universe, and so he took that with the trade deficit that the U.S. has because, again, like I said before, there's a reason why America is the global reserve currency. It's a very, very powerful thing for other countries to have in reserve. They want to have American dollars in reserve so then they can leverage that money in trades with other countries. That's how it works. But since Trump's a fucking idiot and he doesn't understand that having a trade deficit is not really a bad thing, it's just a sign that that the American economy is so ridiculously powerful that guess what? The United States can afford to buy a lot of stuff from different countries. You can afford to have an import economy in order to be able to import raw resources and materials from other countries which can grow particular things better than the US in order to have them imported in so they can get processed and refined in the US or processed and refined in other locations. Because this is how a globalized economy works. So we come up with like stupid dumb fuck tariffing rates like this. This is like literally no different than just putting the fucking formula within chatgpt and seeing what it fucking spits out. It's actually incredible how they came up with this. Insane. Housing is going to crash because where does all that lumber come from? Canada. Oh please. Yeah, you guys thought your housing crisis was bad? I mean, it's not as bad as our housing crisis, but your guys' housing crisis is bad. Time for your housing to get a lot fucking worse. Farming for you guys is going to get a lot fucking worse. Even given that it's Trump, I cannot believe they said we'll justify the trade deficit by imports and tell people that's the tariff rate. I need you to understand how fucking stupid that is. I cannot believe he still has working class supporters. How can he be that deeply confused and stupid? Let me tell you, burnt out alien. This is just what happens when you create a society that is so ridiculously atomized and socially alienated as it is. From your labor, from your neighbor, from your broader community, you become a sycophant to Trump, and he becomes a king of morons. Not to mention Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, those cuts to fucking education, those complete destruction of broader Western education. This is how this happens. How in God's name did Scott Bessent agree to sign off on this? That is a fantastic question. Like, this tweet is correct, but it's actually worse than I thought. In calculating the tariff rate, Trump's people only use the trade deficit in goods. So even though we run a trade surplus in services with the world, those exports don't count as far as Trump is concerned. Holy shit. Yeah, because again, the US has a lot of different companies that provide services around the world. He doesn't count that as the fucking exports. Oh my fucking lord. And here's how I know that the fucking 10% shit is pulled completely out of his ass. This psychonaut individual says, I'm Australian. America has a trade surplus with us, and they still put a 10% tariff on us. Yes, any country where we have a trade surplus or where the trade deficit / imports is less than 10% had their tariff rate listed as 10%. Because I initially asked, what is with this 10% shit? This is really fucking weird. Why 10%? Why is it equal? That's very fucking strange. It's because they completely pulled it out of their ass. This is unironically the most fucking stupid motherfucking shit I have ever fucking seen on the fucking planet. This is unimaginably fucking stupid. And people are still gonna buy it fucking hook. Some people are gonna buy it hook, line, and sinker. It's incredible. I'm telling you, we need the everyone needs to start learning Mandarin. The Chinese century is upon us. It truly is. And like literally, let's look at the fucking Dow Jones, right? Minus 1,600 points, dude. Dude. And that's just today. The full effects of the tariffs haven't even hit. Straight fucking down. Whee! Yeah, the Nasdaq has also gone down by 5%. Fucking the S&P 500 gone down by about 5%. Oh boy, the fucking market is shitting the fucking bed. Like, quite literally, I think all of the economists are saying, like, this is like the worst possible thing that he could have done, and he still went ahead with it. Because again, he doesn't know how fucking trade deficits work. He doesn't understand economics. Less capitalism, yay. It's actually incredible just how poorly fucking idiotically thought out this was. Like, it's incredible that he just has a child's interpretation for as to how economics works. That's literally it. This is how children think the economy works. He literally pulled it out of his ass. And again, like James said, how the fuck did the Treasury Secretary sign off on this? He would have had to sign off on this in order to fucking go through with it. Unless he's just a complete fucking sycophant and just went along with it. Yeah, did Jerome, no, Jerome, it's not Jerome Powell, it's Scott Bessent, who's, guess what, a fucking billionaire. Whoa, another fucking billionaire who wants to cause this recession on purpose because he knows he's going to be able to benefit from it. Ah, he's a fucking idiot. He is a fucking idiot. Just like this entire fucking administration, piloted by a bunch of fucking morons. And again, you know, just like that dumbass the quartering said earlier. Oh, what do you mean? Why are you complaining about these tariffs? You don't need all these like video games and stuff. Yeah, okay, man. But you know, you're just fine with like a complete stock market crash and shit like that. Hilarious, bro. Hilarious. Why is the banks are out of money trending? Are they out of like liquid assets in order to be able to fucking pay down anything? Is that what's going on? Oh boy. Literally, it's history is it's fucking repeating itself. This is no different than fucking 2008, but like ironically, I think it's dumber. $450. Oh yeah, $450 for a Switch is the least of our worries, but it's a huge indicator. It's just shocking to me. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. This is like unironically the dumbest fucking shit possible. $90 physical copies. Yeah, you thought that shit was going to be bad. Guess what? With the tariffs, that's only gonna go up now. Don't be surprised if you start getting like $100 Nintendo fucking Switch games because Nintendo decided to go ahead and push forward with the bullshit that Sony wanted to do. Hilarious, guys. It's fucking incredible. You thought it was gonna be bad before, but yeah, it's about to get a lot worse. And it's like some other astute people once said, it's gonna be like a lot worse before it gets a lot better. And that's like honestly, that's like just the saddest part about all this. It's gonna get way worse before it gets any better.